Hey guys, what's up? It's Voodoo 51292, and welcome to another episode of Voodoo's Thoughts. This is episode 14. It is Wednesday, June 12th of 2013, and in this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the new generation of consoles, and it's now 2 days after the E3 press conferences by both Sony and Microsoft. Everything's pretty much on the table, and I said I was going to wait till after E3 to really kind of compare the two consoles and make my final decision. So I'm just going to be open and honest with you right out from the beginning. Okay, this is a receipt right here that I've got, and this receipt is from GameStop because I went there yesterday morning, 10:08 a.m., 8 minutes after the store opened, and pre-ordered the PlayStation 4. Okay? So I pre-ordered PS4. I'm going to be getting PS4 this year when it comes out. And the reason I'm doing that is simple. To put it lightly, or not so lightly, Xbox fucked up. They just did. Microsoft fucked up. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how they fucked up and why, I went with PS4, and I think a lot of gamers are going to go with PS4. So to open this off, just to let you know, I am in no way biased. I'm in no way a fanboy of Sony. In fact, I have both a PlayStation 3 and an Xbox 360, as you know, if you have seen this channel. And I prefer the 360 over the PlayStation 3 by far. I got my Xbox 360 back in May of 2011, and I pretty much play all cross-platform games on 360. I rarely actually play my PlayStation 3 now. I think Xbox 360 is better than PlayStation 3. And I was on the record long before we had any reveal conferences or before we really knew anything about the PS4 and Xbox One, that I was leaning more toward Microsoft for the next generation, and that Sony was really going to have to come out and do something to impress me to make me go to PlayStation 4 instead of Xbox. So I was actually, if anything, biased to the Xbox before we learned anything about these consoles. But after the fact, I couldn't be more on PS4's side, if I tried. I just couldn't. Xbox really did themselves in. I couldn't tell you. I have no earthly idea why they did what they did, why they made the decisions that they made, or how they thought that this model would actually be effective. And this console war, this battle here, could not have been any easier for Sony to win. And I'm sure that during these past few years of development of these new systems and all that other kind of stuff, that Sony, there was probably a lot of concern, a lot of stressing and worrying inside the Sony camp about how in the world are we going to wrestle control back from Microsoft, because the 360 destroyed PS3 in sales. And they were probably wondering, how in the world are we going to get it back? And they must be extremely excited right now, because all Sony had to do to win this console war was to continue doing the same things that they were doing. All they had to do was not change. Because Microsoft did change, they made a lot of decisions that make no sense to me, and they screwed themselves. They did it to themselves. They killed their own console by themselves. So, let me talk about the things that bother me about Xbox One. First of all, let me start off by saying that gamers, real, true video gamers, people like me, who, we play games. That's what we do. We enjoy video games. We like playing games. Gamers are pretty simple. They want two things out of a system. Okay? Number one, they want to be able to play games. They want to be able to play good games. They want to be able to play their games with two key things. Number one, as cost effective and as cheap as possible. Because video games can get very expensive. It's $60 a pop, paying for online subscriptions, all that other kind of stuff. Gaming is expensive. So they want to play their games, and they want to play good games, and they want it to be as cost effective as possible. And number two, Real gamers want minimum bullshit. And that's just how it is. They want as little nonsense as can be. They want to pick up a controller in their hands, pick up a controller, sit in front of their TV, and play a game. That's what they want. They don't want 800 peripheral items. They don't want motion controls. They don't want to control their console with their hands or their voice or anything else than this right here. This is what gamers want to use. So two things, cost effective and minimum bullshit. What Xbox decided to do with the Xbox One is they took both of those things that were important to gamers and they did the exact opposite of what gamers really wanted out of the Xbox One. And I'm sorry, because I have to call some people out. The people who are continuing now to stand by Xbox, to support them. Sorry, I have a text. And claim that, you know, Xbox is being hated on unfairly and that they are gamer friendly and people are sick of other people calling the Xbox One not gamer friendly. Well, as I just described to you, those are the two major things that gamers want. They're simple things. When you blatantly make decisions that are completely opposite to those two things, you're being not gamer friendly. And to me, it's just, that's how it is. So, number one, cost effective. Well, the blatant obvious disregard for that is that the Xbox One is $100 more than PS4. It's $500, PS4 is $400, okay? Right there, not cost effective. And already Xbox, if you want to play online, forces you to buy Xbox Live Gold, which is expensive as well. So that's blatantly not cost effective. The other thing about not being cost effective is Xbox One's policy, which we still don't really understand, about used games, lending games, because face it, and I'm talking to you Xbox One fans and Xbox fanboys, there's going to be restrictions on used games and lending games. If there wasn't, Microsoft would have come out and the first thing they would have said in their press conference is, all these rumors are completely false, used games will work just how they always did, you know, how the PlayStation 4 did it in their conference. Xbox would have come out and blatantly said, no, there are no restrictions on used games, it works just like it always did. But they didn't say that. They've never said that. In fact, they've said nothing about the used games because there will be restrictions on them. We don't really know right now what it is because they refuse to talk about it. But we know that used games are not going to work the same way that they always did on Xbox One. That's not cost effective. Because if somebody has to go out and pay $60 every single time they want to play a game, because used games talks about actual used games that you can buy for a discounted price, or renting games off of a service like GameFly, which is what I do. So you would have to pay $60 every time you wanted to play a game, even if your friend had it and wanted to lend it to you. That's not cost effective. Okay? It's extremely expensive and ridiculous. And if you want to play the online for those games, you have to buy Xbox Live Gold. Now, let's get to the other thing. Minimum bullshit. No. Xbox One is the complete opposite. Their entire Xbox One reveal conference was focused around all sorts of peripheral bullshit, such as the TV, such as the third-party partners, all this other kind of stuff that wasn't games. The Xbox One reveal conference wasn't about games. It just wasn't. Their E3 conference was. But what are they forcing you to have? They're forcing you to use the Kinect, which no one uses. No gamers really use the Kinect. They just don't. My 4-year-old niece uses the Kinect to keep herself entertained and play those silly games. That's who uses Kinect. Okay, just like the same people that use the Wii, pretty much. After its initial, popularity died down. But they're forcing you to have a Kinect. They're bundling it with every system, and you have to have your Kinect plugged in to run the system. That's not minimum bullshit. Number 2, the online-only connectivity, that you have to check in every 24 hours online. Now, we still have absolutely no idea what the purpose of this is, what the reason behind it is. Is there any benefit to doing this? Why do we have to check in every 24 hours on the internet? What does the system need from the internet every 24 hours to simply run a game? I don't understand. No one understands. Microsoft has never said why. They just say, this is something you have to do. No explanation, nothing. Just, you have to do it. I would like to know why. I would like to know what's the purpose of that. That's not minimum bullshit. That's a hassle that no one wants to do. And another thing, they're pushing this smart glass stuff. Everything in E3, all the press on smart glass. Now, I will admit, they showed a lot of it for PlayStation 4 as well. But it's still on the Xbox One. That's a lot of peripheral nonsense that no one really wants to use. And again, with the used game policy, whatever that is, that's not minimum bullshit. It's a further hassle. That's further complications and ridiculousness that you have to put up with. So all of those things combined, gamers want to play games that are cost effective, and they don't want a lot of bullshit and distractions in their way. Xbox said screw those people, and they went the exact opposite way. They made it more costly to play games, and they put a lot more peripheral nonsense in your face. And to me, it's as simple as that. There doesn't need to be any more discussion about the subject. The two, in my opinion, as a gamer, as someone who plays a lot of games, who likes to play games, and talking to my friends who are gamers, those are the two things that are most important to myself and a lot of other gamers. And the fact that Microsoft just blatantly didn't care and went the complete opposite way, I mean, for me, the choice is simple. I don't understand right now, and I can't see why, if you're someone who's completely unbiased, meaning not a fanboy or anything like that, but someone who legitimately is unbiased, as I was going into this, looking at both systems, comparing them, seeing which one you really want to buy, I just can't understand why anyone would pick Xbox One over PlayStation 4. I can't. If you are someone out there listening to this who is a true, non-biased, third-party person comparing these two consoles, and you actually would pick the Xbox One over PlayStation 4, please let me know why. I want to know. Because to me, I was completely non-biased going into this. And there's no way that I would pick Xbox One. No way. I mean, compared to PlayStation 4, to me it's a no-brainer. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have to go on much more. Xbox royally screwed up. And all PlayStation 4 had to do, as I said, was just continue to do what they've always done. Not require you to plug in peripherals like a Kinect. Not packaging it with the system. The PlayStation Eye is completely optional. You know, and not requiring you to check in online, and not putting any restrictions on used games, which all three of those things they did with the PlayStation 3. Now, admittedly, they are charging you. You have to be a member of PlayStation Plus to play online. But other than that, I mean, to me, I don't see it. There's no benefit to me. The only thing that Xbox has on PlayStation is a few of those console exclusive games. And I'm sorry, looking at those console exclusives, none of those even come close to making up for the things that are wrong with the Xbox One and the hassles that I would have to go through to do an Xbox One. I can't actually do this channel if I had an Xbox One. I'd have to completely shut down. And I would play a maximum of 3 or 4 games a year because I'm a college student. I don't have money. I can't run out and buy a game for $60 every time I want a unit, every time I want to play it. This channel, everything that I've built on this channel and everything that I do as far as video games is built around the concept of having no restrictions on used games. Because I use GameFly. All those games are used games. So, yeah, I buy a couple of new games every year. You know, there's a couple of games every year that I want to purchase. But other than that, every single thing I do on this channel is used games. It's based off the principle of being able to play used games. If I can't do that anymore, then I don't have a channel. And I'm not a gamer anymore because I can't afford it. So, Xbox One they dug their own hole and buried themselves. I mean, they did it to themselves. I don't know who, like I said, thought that these changes would be a good idea, or how they actually thought that this was going to sell. I mean, I don't know who in there told them that that making a system like this and putting these features on it was going to sell the system. I don't know who told them that. And they just went completely off the deep end. I mean, I'm as confused as everybody else. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It confuses the hell out of me. And I don't want to deal with confusion. I don't want to deal with nonsense. I know what I need to know about PlayStation 4. They've been open. They've been direct. They've been honest about it. They've blatantly said, there's play-as-use games. There's no restrictions on it. You don't have to check in online. You know, you don't have to have the PlayStation Eye to run the system. I mean, to me, there's nothing vague about PlayStation 4. I understand the PlayStation 4. I know what I'm getting. The Xbox One, there's a million questions that they won't answer. And I just don't want to deal with it. And it's $500. I'm going to pay $500 for a system that I have all these questions about and they won't answer for me. And a system that, basically, if I can't play used games, I can't have a channel anymore. No. So, it's funny because, just checking time, it's funny because, you know, I was planning on probably getting both systems. I have both PS3 and Xbox 360, as I mentioned. At some point, having both systems. But now, Xbox has screwed themselves so much, I don't think I'm ever going to get an Xbox One. Because I can't play rented games on it, or used games. So, there's no point to me having an Xbox One. There's just not. I don't need it. I can't use it unless I run out and pay full price for the console exclusives on the system. So, I mean, hey, that's it. That's what I got to say. Sony destroyed Microsoft, and it really wasn't too hard because Sony didn't have to do anything except do what they did with PlayStation 3. And sure, they have improved certain things. They have taken certain measurements to improve their system, I feel. But they didn't make any boneheaded decisions or anything like that for me to not buy their system. And I'm going to comment real quickly on the pay. You have to pay to play multiplayer on PS4. It's going to be the same price yearly as Xbox Live. $5 a month, so $60 a year. I actually like the fact that you can pay monthly. $5 a month I can handle and keep ahead of. I don't have to drop $60 at one time. And I've said this from the beginning on my channel, and I'm going to be consistent with it. I'm not going to change my mind because I feel the same way. I've always said I would have no problem paying for the PlayStation Network as I do for Xbox Live Gold if the network significantly improved and got up to the standards of, say, Xbox Live. Now, the jury's still out because we don't know yet how PlayStation Network's going to run on PS4. But if I get the PlayStation 4 and pay for it, and the system is really good, and they get better servers, they improve their online functionality. We've already seen that they have cross-game chat, and they're introducing the wired headsets, so you don't have to deal with Bluetooth. So we pretty much know the voice quality is going to be much better. Cross-game chat. They haven't said yet that there's going to be a party system on it, so that's a little disappointing. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. I kind of wish they would do that. But hey, if their games run smoother online, if they have better servers, stuff like that, I don't mind. Because right now I already pay for Xbox Live Gold. And I'm very happy with Xbox Live. So if PlayStation Network can get up to that point and actually afford some good security so they don't get hacked, and they can afford some good steady servers and stuff like that, I don't mind paying for it. I know a lot of Sony fanboys might be going nuts because you have to pay. Maybe they're not because they're just so happy that PS4 is way better than the Xbox One, seemingly, that they don't care that much. But, you know, some PlayStation fanboys might be freaking out that they have to pay. And I've said since day one that it wouldn't be that big a deal to me if they improved their service. So we'll have to see if their service does improve, because I will be upset if I have to pay for a service and it still remains not very good. But the jury's still out on that. But that's my comments on the paying for PlayStation Plus. Plus you get some cool perks for being a member of PlayStation Plus that you didn't previously get with Xbox Live Gold. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to make a video. I didn't have time to talk about this on the Voodoo's Brew I just did for E3 because we ran so long. But I wanted to make a video expressing my thoughts about why I picked PlayStation 4 over Xbox, where I think Xbox went wrong, and I think it was a pretty simple thing. They violated, like, to me, the two major things of gamers, to be cost effective, to be as cheap as possible, and to deal with less peripheral bullshit and stuff not related to games and motion controls and all kinds of nonsense. So they made those decisions, and I think they're really going to pay the price for it. I think they're going to get blasted by PlayStation 4, at least at launch, for sales. I really do. So, but that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Those are my thoughts. I've pre-ordered the PlayStation 4. I'll be picking it up whenever it comes out at the end of this year, and couldn't be happier with my decision. I'm stoked. I'm excited for PS4. I'm ready for the next gen, and the games look really, really good. I can't wait. I'm excited. And I hope you guys are too. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be bringing you PlayStation 4 games on the channel later this year when it comes out. So, alright guys, thanks, and I'll see you later.